Chapter 65. Summer and Leah. Dragging her feet, Leah trailed behind Kai as he effortlessly ascended each step with his long, lean figure. They entered the supply room, a makeshift wooden structure that Kai had built before the Decree invasion ravaged their world. He moved effortlessly from task to task, packing up all the necessary items for their upcoming journey. Summer stood in the doorway, watching in silence as the two in front of her prepared for the journey they were about to take. She couldn't hold it any longer.
"I want to come too,"
she blurted out, her hand instinctively resting on her aching lower back as she arched slightly to ease the throbbing pain. Kai and Leah's heads turned in unison, their expressions mirroring shock, their gaze fixed on her protruding belly.
"No."
Kai's voice was abrupt. He turned back to his task, signaling that the conversation was over.
"Why not? I could be help."
Summer's heart pounded in her chest as she thought of what faced Leah and Kai ahead.
"I could be your lookout. Watch your back."
A puzzled expression crept across Kai's face, his features contorting in confusion as he turned to Summer.
"Have you lost your complete mind? Have you looked at yourself lately? You have got to be kidding me."
Summer felt her face flush with embarrassment as she averted her gaze, humiliated to appear weak in front of Kai.
"I am still capable. I can still kill."
Kai let out a loud, disgusted sound and turned away. With rough, impatient movements, he continued to pack up his backpack, shoving water bottles inside. His back was tense with frustration as he angrily zipped up the bag, trying to calm himself down. Summer tensed, unable to say a word. She felt so many emotions running through her and didn't know how to process any of them. What would she do if something happened to Kai, even Leah? She wanted Adam to be safe, of course she did. She liked the little dude, even if he was a bit strange. He was a kid after all. An innocent little kid. But she didn't want them to go. She was afraid. Bad things happened to those She paused, trying to push away the words that wanted to come. She didn't want to have feelings for Kai or Lonnie, for anyone. Of course, Chris's actions flooded her mind, and her heart wanted to shatter it by his betrayal. She clenched her jaw and ran her hand over her forehead, trying to suppress the lump in her throat when she thought of Chris. She had no idea she had such intense feelings for him until he admitted his betrayal to them all, making the pain even sharper.
"Instead of fixating on murder, perhaps you should focus on the well-being of the child."
Kai swung his head around, causing his dark hair to fall over his shoulder.
"Besides," he
said, noticing Summer's volatile expression,
"we have no idea how long we will be away, and it's important for you to stay near Lonnie now."
He looked at Leah moving aimlessly around the room. Summer thought, he is thinking one unstable woman is enough.
"Fine,"
she said, resigned, knowing he was right. The ache in her back only proved it. As hard as it was to wrap her brain around it, her body was becoming an entire entity of its own, with each passing day, slowing her down in ways she could have never imagined. The bigger she got, the less she could move with ease, and the more she grew anxious about what was to come.
"What are you going to do? How are you going to get Adam back?"
Summer asked, changing the direction of the conversation. Leah's swollen face snapped back to life as she whirled around with sudden energy.
"Don't know. Guess we will see when we get there,"
Kai replied, resuming his packing.
"I am going to kill Ben,"
she said, clutching her fist in front of Summer.
"I'm going to kill him for taking my baby."
Her lips curled down, exposing her teeth and gums, making her look mean and ugly. Summer pulled back, appalled at Leah's uncharacteristic behavior. Without thinking, she instinctively placed a hand over her stomach and gently massaged it. What was she so shocked about? Summer already knew she'd kill for her own child. What made her think Leah wouldn't too? Leah spun away, her movements filled with desperate urgency. She rummaged through the shelves of supplies, her fingers flying over the objects, searching for what would be suitable for the journey ahead. The sounds of rustling and clanging echoed in the room as she continued to search with fierce determination, ignoring Summer, focusing only on getting what they needed so they could leave.
"Enough of the killing already,"
Kai said, exasperated.
"Sheesh."
He shook his head and reached for a tent stored on a top shelf against the wall.
We have to hurry before we're too late,
Leah rambled, ignoring Kai's words.
Ben is out for revenge. We shouldn't have done it. We should have just left well enough alone.
She turned quickly and came face to face with a surprised Summer.
You were right.
Her lips trembled as her bloodshot eyes filled again with tears.
We should have listened to you and never helped her. Never. Now they have my baby.
Her hand flew to her mouth as she held back a silent sob, biting down on the dirty flesh of the back of her hand.
Why? Why did I help her? Why?
Summer shook her head, desperately trying to push back the fear that threatened to consume her. Leah's raw emotions were too much for Summer to handle. Her pain was too fresh and familiar. She couldn't handle looking into Leah's distraught face any longer, or hear her desperate pleas.
I can't,
She tried to speak, but the words wouldn't come. Summer pivoted abruptly and stepped out into the pouring rain. She quickened her steps to keep up with the pounding rain beating against her. She didn't want to run, but she couldn't help it. Her emotions were getting the best of her. Tears cascaded down her cheeks. Were they from her eyes or the sky? She didn't know, but she quickly wiped them away with her sleeve, only for them to fall again. Her eyes squinted, scanning the area, not wanting anyone to catch sight of her vulnerability. Amidst the sound of the storm, Leah's wail could be heard once more in the background. Summer clutched her ears with her fists and ran as fast as her weighted-down body would allow. Leah stood in the open doorway, her eyes following Summer's frantic movements as she clutched her stomach, trying to sprint through the relentless downpour, already soaked to the bone. The rain beat against the windows and roof, creating a deafening void in the pit of hell Leah was in. Gripping the edge of the door, she leaned out, releasing a gut-wrenching scream from a place deep within her she never knew existed. Her heart was broken. How on earth was she ever going to get Adam back, if it wasn't too late already? No! She shook her head back and forth, her drenched hair whipping wildly in the never-ending torrent outside. It came at her from all directions, like angry fists pounding against her face, for her stupid choices and reckless disregard for her son's safety. Strong hands grabbed her shoulders from behind, pulling her into the room. She turned her limp head to see Kai's solid chest behind her, letting herself collapse into his support.
We are going to get him.
Pressed tight against him, Kai's deep and powerful voice penetrated within her, sending vibrations throughout her body. With each exhale, Leah could feel his warm breath in her damp hair, causing a tickling sensation near the tips of her ears. She could feel herself standing taller and straighter under his steady grip.
How, Kai? How are you and I going to go up against Malcolm and the decree?
Dripping wet, she met his gaze, her eyes drawn to his strong and angular features.
I have faith.
He leaned in, lowering his head to meet her upturned face. They stood mere inches apart, close enough for her to see the particles in their breath mingling together in the air between them. Leah's mouth opened up as she pushed a wet strand of hair off her forehead with the back of her hand.
Faith? You've got to be kidding me.
She stood back, bringing her hand to her mouth, trying to hold back the hysteria rising in her once again.
For real? Faith? That's the plan to get Adam back?
She let out a strangled laugh.
Don't make fun of me,
Kai said, visibly offended.
Make fun of you? How on earth do I have time right now to make fun of you? My son is gone, Kai. He's gone. Do you understand that? Does anyone understand that? Do you possibly know how I'm feeling right now?
Without warning, she pivoted on her heels to walk away, only to turn back around once more. She grabbed Kai roughly by the shirt, twisting it right in her palm as she pulled savagely.
This mumbo-jumbo talk won't bring Adam back. Do you hear me?
Without flinching, he grabbed Leah's wrists and wrenched them free from his shirt.
You are not the only one who has lost a son.
Leah yanked her arms free. Glaring, she rubbed her wrists.
What is that supposed to mean?
Leah said, cringing at the venom that came with her words. Kai turned away from her, going back to arrange their gear. Everything was ready. The rain outside came down harder, as though the universe opened up and let loose all the tears for every child ever lost.
What do you mean, Kai? Tell me now.
He looked up from his bag and fixed his sight on the wooden boards of the wall, deliberately avoiding eye contact with Leah.
It means I couldn't save Lonnie's son from death's clutches. But there is no way in hell I will let it happen again. We will bring Adam home.
He stood, picking up the 2 large backpacks, and turned to Leah. She stared at him in shock and confusion as he handed her one of the bags.
This I have faith in.
And he walked out the door and into the pouring rain, waiting for her to follow.